Right now we're in the lower 90s and dew points are in the lower 70s. That's making it feel like we are in the triple digits in some spots across the Piedmont, but plenty of sunshine. Temperatures across the board, mainly in the mid to upper 80s, feeling like the 90s and even in the triple digits for portions of Siler City over towards Sanford and Pinehurst too. 99 feels like currently in Reedsville. A look right now at the satellite radar. Most places are dry, although an isolated pop-up shower or sprinkle is possible for some as we continue to track these kind of moving in from our northwest. Again, short-lived across the area, and I'm really not expecting much with those. Next 12 hours, we're going to fall back into the middle 70s. It's going to be a mild day ahead of us into tomorrow. Mid to upper 80s, scattered storm chances are back, but you're looking at a less humid and drier week ahead behind these storm chances on Monday. We'll break down the full forecast coming up.
New at 6, another house catches on fire because of a rechargeable battery. The damage was so bad, one person has to find another place to stay tonight. This happening about 1 week after a fire in Graham was started by a battery that was charging at the time. Take a look at today's video posted by the Winston-Salem Fire Department. You can see crews entering a charred room with flames to the back. You know, they do not back down even as the flames flare up. They go in to help. The fire department says this was off of Petrie Road. No one was injured in the fire, but fire marshals say the best way to protect your home is never leave a charging device unattended and make sure you're using the proper charging cords that came with the device. Recent tariffs on Mexican tomatoes are causing a price spike that's starting to hit local restaurants and farmers. In Greensboro, one restaurant, the Bodega, says they use tomatoes on nearly every sandwich, but now the price of each case has risen from $28 to $32 in just a little over a week.
I'm nervous for the consumer. You know, at what point can we keep raising our prices before people don't want to pay it anymore? You know, and we're not raising prices to gouge people. We're raising prices to keep up with the cost of our goods, and that just continues to go up. You never see it trend back down. Like once it goes up, it just keeps going up. And you know, people feel that when they go to the grocery store. They feel it when they come, you know, when they go out to eat. You know, and it's what we have to do to survive as business owners.
While restaurants are feeling the pressure to raise prices amid tariffs, one local farmer says this shift could lead to produce more U.S. grown tomatoes on the shelves.
Now, with the prices going up, hopefully they will start looking at some of these local and get a higher quality product, and maybe that will help, you know, all the small farms and the larger farms and really all the farmers out in the United States.
The Trump administration's tomato tariffs took effect earlier this month. The 17% tariff is on most Mexican tomatoes, part of an ongoing trade dispute with the country. If your loved one is in an assisted living facility, you trust the staff to take care of them. But one in South Carolina is being shut down after the state investigators say they found 5 neglected residents in a series of violations.
About a year, state officials say there were red flags at Southwind's assisted living. But this week, the South Carolina Department of Public Health shut the doors.
We received a complaint basically stating the owner of the facility had fired all of the staff. There was concerns that there would be no one there to care for the loved ones.
Investigators from the South Carolina Department of Health said they found 5 elderly residents inside, alone, confused, and one needing more care than the facility was licensed to provide. The only person on site, the owner, who according to the Department of Health, despite not being certified, had reportedly been passing medication out herself. This wasn't the first time inspectors had been there. Back in 2024, DPH investigated reports of withheld medication, staff not following physicians' orders, and no emergency evacuation plan. The facility had to complete a plan of corrective action and were allowed to continue operating. Susan Jeffcoat is a neighbor of Southwind's. Jeffcoat says her heart breaks for the residents who lived in these conditions.
I mean, just because they can't afford to stay in the fancy places don't mean they have to be treated any different. They have a heart, they breathe just like we do.
A May 29, 2025 inspection cited a Class 1 violation, the most serious type, citing abuse, lack of licensed medication staff, and even an altercation between the owner and administrator that led to a police call. The facility stayed open until this week's incidents. The Department of Health says Southwinds was given a deadline to submit a corrective action plan by July 17th in order to reopen, but that deadline came and went. News 19 reached out to Kershaw County's Sheriff's Office to see if it's possible charges will be filed. We are waiting to hear back.
I've worked in facilities and I care a lot about them because it's somebody's grandma, mom, brother, sister, whatever. And if my family was in there, I would want them to be treated that way. And I think that's the way all of the employees should think.
As for what's next, all residents have been relocated to safer facilities or returned to their families.
Mark those calendars. WFMY News 2 is teaming up with the Red Cross for our summer blood drive. It's on Wednesday at Piedmont Hall at the Greensboro Complex from 9 a.m. until 6. You can go to our website to make an appointment using the sponsor code WFMY.
Midday across the Triad, but not nearly as many storm chances. We can see a couple of isolated showers and storms kind of trying to bubble up across the Piedmont, but most of us are going to stay dry. One shower trying to reach into Forsyth County as we speak. Temperatures are currently in the upper 80s and lower 90s. Some places, though, feeling like nearly 100 degrees. I have good news. Dew points are going to be trending lower with a cold front by the time we're into Wednesday, Thursday, and into Friday. You can see it start to wiggle its way in from the north by the time we're into late Monday night and early onto Tuesday. As it sweeps in, high pressure over here is going to be bringing us cooler and drier air across the area. Rest of the night tonight, really most of us going to be staying dry, waking up in the 70s. Tomorrow afternoon, low 90s are going to be expected with more scattered showers and storms back in the forecast, but drying out right after that. Look at that. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, plenty of sunshine. We're going to be back in the upper 80s, warming up again to the lower 90s for the weekend.
cooler air. It's going to be a great week, y'all. We'll see you right back here at 11 o'clock.